Hey everybody, it's Monday, which means it's time for some bonus material. I figured I'd show you the gear I'm using to record my Let's Play series for Euro Truck Simulator 2 Going East. Over on the right, we have a main gear PC with 16 gigabytes of RAM, and it has a good video card, which is connected to my monitor. It's a pretty quick refresh rate on this monitor. So here's my Driving Force GT steering wheel. And it's a full 4-seatback steering wheel. So if I can get a good camera angle here, we'll take a look at its steering. When you look at the screen when compared to the steering wheel, you can see that this whole thing gives me 900 full degrees of movement. So I can turn 1.5 to the left, back to center, and 1.5 over to the right, and then back to center. So we can now take a look at the controls I have set up on this thing. I'm using the PlayStation button. In the middle here is my ignition switch. And once I get my truck started, I'm going to turn off the mirrors and GPS for now. Take a look at the D-pad over here on the left. I'm using these left and right buttons for my left and right blinker. The up button is set up for my light modes to cycle through my lights. And then here behind the steering wheel, I have a paddle switch on the left-hand side here, which is for high beams on and off, and then this button on top is my light horn. Over on the right-hand side, I have a cruise control button on top, and then this I use for my various light modes. So here's the hazards, and the O is the beacon. The X button is actually my engine brake, and the square is my screenshot button. Let me just switch hands here really quick. Behind here, the other paddle button on the right-hand side, I'm actually using as my wipers on and off. So now we take a look at this red circle. I use this to change my view if I want to look out the right window or the left window. And I press the button to go back to center. And then of course I have my horn right there. I have an air horn button up here on the upper left. This changes my dashboard display. The upper right round button changes my dashboard display. And then I have these buttons down here for the parking brake. And I'm using the start button here for the radio control. So the plus and minus are for the limiter. Go ahead and shut off the truck. And then down below are my brake and gas. Okay, backing up and to the right is the microphone I'm using. It's a PreSonus M7. It's just a decent mid-grade high-gain microphone, but it does require phantom power, so I'm giving it 48 volt phantom power. I'm using my Yamaha MG124CX mixing board. This model has been discontinued, but there are new models available giving you more features and stuff. So I have my microphone just piped into this in channel 1. On the right on my desk, I have an audio box USB from PreSonus. I'm using this to get the input from my mixing board as well as provide sound to my headphones. And the headphones I'm using are just the PreSonus headphones that came with the package. They're not particularly great headphones, but they're good enough for what I'm doing. So there you have it. That's the gear that I'm using for recording my Euro Truck Simulator 2 Let's Plays. Until next time, keep the rubber side down.